Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. And I'm with the incredible Wolf. And I'll just do my top button up because I don't want to show too much muscle. I don't want Wolfie to look, I don't want you to look at me and see this beautiful beast, muscly beast, and then look at spindly, thin, little
Look
paw.
at those guns! Look at those guns, baby!
It's not too bad for you, actually, Wolf. And this is just a general share advice and not personal advice. As per the disclaimer here. Wolfie, just before we start, what a test match, hey? Come on. What a fight back.
Anyone was watching in Australia. I think it's just the English obviously wanted to get. Look, I have to say, overall, I think England were the better side. The whole series, they should have probably won 5-0.
No, I don't think
silly decisions by England in the first test.
Yeah.
A little bit unlucky by the big partnership in the second. I think that's just a bit of luck. But I think honestly, they outplayed us.
No, I think the fair result would have been maybe 3-2 or 4-1 to England. But you know what? It was a great fight back by Stokes' players. But I'll tell you what, both teams deserve a tremendous applause because it was an amazing series, right? I mean, you know, they were
full of ups and downs, emotion.
Full of ups and downs. You know, the Australian team had a lot of a really hostile crowd they had to handle with. I mean, I think they did, you know, both teams.
You know what's going to happen now? Australia's going to adopt that baseball tactics. You can see what's going to happen. Get rid of the deadwood. You know, Warner's got to go. All these middle, you know, the Marsh, Lucky Century. Just get rid of it. Get some new blood in. Someone who can actually bat for a bit of time and put the other opposition under thing. But you know, plus I think the English bowlers were better than us. That's the other thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think I think at the beginning of the series, I looked at them on paper and I thought Australia were going to win, right? But I think there's certain players that really got better for England, and you saw Wood bowling really well. You saw the two openers, Crawley and Duckett. They found that they found their feet, right? So you know that so I think England team is starting to grow, starting to look a lot better. But we'll see. They're off to India, but no Stokes. Stokes is injured apparently, so he's not going to go.
Look, anyway, it was a good series. I just hope Australia comes back and doesn't think that they've actually done well. I don't think they've done well. They've been very, very lucky to draw 2-2.
By the way, when you see your mate, tell him 5-0. Kiss my butt. All right. He
is a true Aussie that always is very, very, very high on his side. I mean, that's just normal. McGrath has been always a huge Aussie through and through. So I can imagine.
All right.
That's okay.
Say no more.
Parochial is the right word.
All right, Wolf. Let's go.
Come on. Well, we spent way too much time already on the Aussie versus England.
Well, you wouldn't if Australia won. We'd have been still talking about it. There wouldn't be any talk.
I'm normally impartial. It doesn't matter what we play.
Yeah,
but it's good to see the Matildas got through the next round by beating the Canadians. Yes.
Yeah, no, that was good. Well done, the Matildas.
Watched that last night. Very, very good.
All right, let's go, Wolfie.
Come on.
CCP down 14%.
Yep.
Just our outlook.
Yeah, outlook is very, very poor. Basically, no growth at all because they've just said it's looking fairly weak out there, right? In the first part of the next year, FY24. So I think that FY23 came in within guidance. What they're going to say they come up with, and I just saw the actual brokers' consensus. Yeah, and they pretty much hit it. But it's their outlook that was way below their consensus out there, Dave. So I think that's why you're probably seeing a bit of 14% down. Look, that could recover within the next 12 months, but you wouldn't be in there after that update. If you bought that on a green candle, you're out.
Yeah, definitely. WR1.
Yep.
Wolfie, it's holding up. Actually, it's holding up. The question is, were those results good enough for this to go on with it?
No, they're good enough to maybe hold it for the moment. But they need more, and they need to come up with an PMT style resource update. I'd say can they hit 100 million tons straight off the bat? I don't think so. I think that because they're overall they had the weaker results, right? If you just go side by side, two results worth of last, whatever drilling they've done, PMT by far has been the better results. These guys have been still very good in the context of the whole overall, but not as good as PMT. So I'd imagine WA is still, decent, but not quite good enough.
All right. The question of PMT, what sort of market cap is that trading on now?
Very good question. A big one. However, Albemarle is happy to pay overs, Dave, at these current prices, because they've just gone in and gone, we'll give you 100 mil, right? Capital raise, 100 mil for whatever percentage of your, for your company. And they're happy to pay like a 5% premium to the share price. So Dave, they're actually valuing this quite highly, because we said already, PMT is probably top 5 discoveries, well, globally, I'd say, right? So there you go. It's pretty good. Definitely positive viewing for that.
So who's coming in and investing 100 million in this?
Albemarle, which is the big, top 2 producers globally for lithium.
Wow, that's
a huge ticket of approval, right? That's a big plus. I'd say time goes on, they'll probably buy them out.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if its market cap's correct, because it says 576 million, right?
No, it is. It's it's the CDI. So the Canadian is much higher, and I'd have to have a look what the Canadian one is for you. Let me see if I can find it out. Yeah, so this is just a partial listing in Australia, and you have to add that onto the Canadian one. So let me just have a look. Patriot. I can find it on the Canadian. Okay, here we go. And Canadian is 1.86 billion, right? So that's roughly about 2 billion market cap.
All right. Now, how does this resource compare to something like PLS?
Okay, I think let's compare it to LTR, Liontown, right? Which have got 150 million tons, roughly about the same grade.
Yeah.
Okay. And their market cap, so they've got 50% higher, right? More resources. And LTR, and I've
got them at 6 billion.
There you go, right? So question is 6 billion LTR, and they've been bid for as well, right?
Yeah.
So you've got that look through that maybe you've got a little bit more upside in PMT, maybe about $2 currently.
But hold on. This is only a 2 billion now.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's 50% the size. It could be worth, if you compared it could be worth 3 billion.
Correct. Yeah. The thing is, it's still early days, right? I mean, I think PMT could easily get to 150 million plus resource with the more drilling they've got, because they've done a good job so far, but it's just the beginning for them. So it can potentially get to that 6 billion valuation with time, as long as everyone still values the same. The lithium story is the same, right? And
well, that's the danger, right?
Exactly.
Like overnight that can change, right? Overnight.
Yeah, precisely.
So it's still a trending story.
Yeah, 100%. But it is going to be given that premium, I'd say. And if you're going to be gravitating towards, okay, which lithium stores am I going to buy? If lithium is hot, probably PMT would be, top of the list, I'd say.
All right. Well, then it's a high risk trade, isn't it?
Yeah, it is high risk, 100% high risk.
So you'd give this a go from 173 to $2.
I would. I mean, you've got a validation from Albemarle, right? You've got 100 million tons already come out. Bang, one at 1.4 thing. They've still got more drilling to go. So I think, it's a fairly decent proposition here. Maybe take it from 172 to $2, but you got to be harsh on this. Even if it doesn't work for you, you've got to cut it. Because of course, in the background, you do have that sentiment in lithium and lithium prices.
Yeah, I mean, it's high risk. I mean, and you just target that too.
Yeah.
And I think you go for a stop loss of 145.
Yeah.
Basically what we're saying, more likely to go up than down, right?
Yeah, look, I think so. With more time, with more drilling, bigger resource, you'd think you would go up, right? I mean, I think they've done enough work now to alleviate a lot of the risks where, yeah, okay, this is a bloody great deposit, right? A big project. So surely, and now we've got this Albemarle saying, yes, validation. We're going to give you 100. They're not going to give you 100 million if you've got a crap project, surely. So there you go.
Precisely. And you could argue, okay, you're paying 14% more than you were yesterday, but 14% most probably well worth paying with Albemarle coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think because you've got that validation, you've got someone that's saying, I'm prepared to pay decent price. And I'd say with time, if they are interested and they do come out with 150 million, 200 million tons, then Albemarle will probably creep up the register and then finally go, we'll take you.
Yeah, listen, I think you've got a good stop loss. It's held at 150. All right, I'll put that on as a trade. Weebit.
Yes.
So it's it's actually a good looking chart, and I'm not going to put this one on because I just don't. It's so heavily traded by some really clever traders, I think, the story. But Wolfie, you know what? This could go up and test that 680 level. Not a bad looking chart, is it?
Yeah, look, I had a look at the announcement. I understand none of it. But anyway, good announcement. Seems like lots of bells and whistles coming through.
Oh my God.
Technology is working in every single went.
Wolf, could you not be so? Could you not be so honest? We're trying to make a living out of this. Could you just like say, yeah, Dave, the chip, yeah, I don't know. We don't know.
I wish I could, but I don't lie when it comes to stocks. I tell her how it is.
Yeah, no, we know more.
Help anyone if I start being like the companies and start making.
We know more about fish and chips, don't we, than really chips.
That's right.
All right, but one day we'll like it. We can start seeing some numbers. But from a charting point of view, maybe it's going to edge up a little bit from here.
Hey, but that's exactly right. If they can commercialize this and show us the money, then we can maybe start working out, how many chips they can sell. What the revenues might be. We can start extrapolating some actually financial numbers, and that will give us a bit more. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. Right now, this is still all speculative.
At the moment, it's just a chip on your. It's just a chip on your shoulder, Wolf. Isn't
it? There you go.
LYC. So it's still below trend. I'm not interested in, but not bad. It's up 4%. So the market liking the announcement.
Yeah, because they're getting the announcement today was all about Department of Defense in the US. They're still saying we are going to support LYC. It's still very, very important to us. Critical metal for the future. This is one of the most independent ones. We are going to keep throwing money at you pretty much. So LYC and support. So LYC from a good company point of view definitely ticks the box. It's still really, really good. They cannot do anything about the prices of neodymium, praseodymium, and all the rare earths, right? There's nothing they can do about it. That's why you saw that quarterly wasn't brilliant. But the company's still, top of the class when it comes to quality.
Well, have they worked out yet what material the UFOs are made out of? Apparently, there's like in the Congress, there's 12 of them. So 12 UFOs.
Is there?
That are, yeah.
That's not bad. That definitely can have, different cup of metal, surely.
And there's more. And there's more aliens than you think. Apparently, there's tall ones that look like Swedes. There's little grey ones that look like you. Yeah. There's. It's not just one alien. It really is. It really is. Men in Black, I tell you.
Yeah. That probably would be. I mean, can you? Again, can you imagine the vastness of the universe that we're the only ones out there? Come on.
No. Well, mate, if you go to Wolverhampton or Arsford, they're walking around, but everyone just thinks they've had a tough night at the pub, right?
Yeah,
but they're not.
The locals.
Yeah, we know they're aliens, but we never cared. All right, okay. DTC, what's happening here?
Okay, so I think what DTC is just announced today, and I think they're trying to change the perception of the company by showing that the directors are on board with cost cutting. So basically, they're swapping their cash bonuses for options, right? Which helps in a way, but at the end of the day, they're still going to be diluting the shareholders. I'd say if it goes quite well. But that's why maybe the market's a bit muted to that announcement. But they said they're going to save 400,000 cash a year because of that, right? Right. At the end of the day, it's still holding. So if you were in this, got in last 4 weeks ago on that green candle, you're probably still technically holding till the end of the week and see what happens. All right, let's move on to the next one. AQZ.
AQZ. Yucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. let's forget that
Yeah,
one.
let's move on. Next one. Okay, let's talk about this one because I have to say, and the fund has been trading this. We bought that at 119. We now have taken that profits out of this. And I know, it always looks silly when you take profits and it's still going, but I'm not greedy on this. I had a good run from 119 to 140. So I've taken the profits around that mark. And
Well, you've taken a nice what?
The week I'm going again. That's the beauty about it, right?
You took a nice little 15%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well done, Wolf.
Yeah, and that's only for 3 weeks. I mean, that's pretty good.
You're my best student.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, like I said, there's never a disappointment when I take a profit, because next week, if it stays like at 142, I'm in, and I'm going to have a really tight stop loss on this.
All right, now Wolf. Apart from that little idea of putting PMT on, if for those guys who want a sort of a little bit of mature trade, better, more sort of blue chip companies, well worth having a look at Brickworks. And the reason being, again, there's been some pretty good target price by one of the brokers. Maybe you could read it, Wolf. I think it was somewhere around $29 on BKW.
Correct.
And could it do it? Well, the chart isn't bad. Worley, likewise, I think target price was it 1850?
Yep.
Remember now.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yep.
Somewhere around there.
You've got high obviously price targets on these things, so there's value in if you believe the brokers, right?
And then
players, so they usually have a lot of clout.
Yeah, and they're still happy on the BKB.
Yep. So
it's three ideas there. BKB maybe 15. Worley, maybe $1 in it. BKW maybe $1 in it. I mean, just some ideas there to have a look at if you're one of these people that you've got to make a trade. Otherwise, you.
Anyway, Dave, I'm watching this AGL chart, and I'm just cannot believe week after week after week after week, it's just green candle after green candle after. This is just unbelievable. How many has he got now? And the thing is, I'm still in.
You know what?
Right? I'm still in the trade. So
if it goes to 14, right?
Yeah.
I've got a feeling we've got a perfect fib pattern.
Okay. So 14, you reckon now? So you're moving it up to 14.
Well, I think so, because if you count the patterns here, right? I think you're going to be looking for at least 21, right? And I remember Kogan did something very, very similar.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Fair enough.
So maybe 14 it is. Are you holding this?
Yeah, still holding it. That's why that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention, because I'm selfish. Obviously, the chart is pretty good. So it's from. I suppose I'm not the only one trading this. There's a few probably traders in this.
Well, I think it goes high. I mean, it's look at it. Look at the daily. I mean, it's on a tear. There's nothing going to stop that. Maybe a bad announcement. That's about it.
Okay, I'll give you another thing. This is before I go on and we close this show. I just want you to just bring NXT, right? Because this is the classic for me. The only thing that I ever learned, right, before you, the classic flag pattern formation, right? NXT. And when I not a day, on a weekly.
Yeah. Oh, you're on a weekly. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Because it's been sort of God. Yeah. So it's sort of just getting that, getting closer and getting closer, breaking out from that $13, and it's sort of narrowing and narrowing and the narrowing, right? So I got a nice feeling about this, right? That the stock will probably go at one point to the upside. So just watch it into the week. Well, again, we'll talk about it into the week, see where it's at, right? If it starts breaking out by Thursday, Friday, maybe it's a time to get in.
Well, I'll tell you what. One good announcement, Wolf, and I think they've had a few winners recently, right? I think this is a company where you feel in this environment could have a really good announcement.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've already given us a pretty good announcement about 8 weeks ago, right? So I'm presuming they're going to just give us another one, maybe, hopefully, and that will just be enough for that finally 13 to be breached and move on to the higher leg. Now, before we close the day, I just want to quickly speak about it, because what very important today, we've got the RBA rate decision today, right? And I know you asked me beforehand. Yeah, come on, we've got a new.
You're panicking. They're not going to move rates.
Well, I hope not, because we've talked about that. She's much more seems like more calm, measured than low was, right? So you'd think, yeah, given another month, obviously the risks are low because the odds are it's not going to be a rate rise today. But I think the market's just a little bit cautious, understandably, because we don't want to be smacked in the face and oh my God, here we go again. So I hope not, right? We don't have it, but it is still a risk event. So we just got to get over that hump today.
Well, I think that's why the market is a bit sluggish today. I think they're,
Right.
rightly or wrongly, it's being a little bit nervous, Wolfie, and I think, but it's not just. I don't think it's really what the RBA do. I don't think they put the rates up. I think it's the rhetoric we're going to have around it.
Yeah, they shouldn't be doing stuff for the sake of it, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
And hopefully they are, they've learned the lessons of the past. Do it only on facts instead of hearsay or whatever, rumors or thinking that's what might happen. No, don't think what might happen. Just do it on bloody facts. But anyway, that's my little thought for the day. But you've got a nice PMT. I think this NXT possibly could go. You're just showing car to us as well. Again, what a nice little breakout that is, right? Funnily enough, with car, I'm not sure if you saw the numbers for electric cars. They've already up over last year's full year figures, and we've only got half year for electric. So you can see there's two things going on here, Dave. First of all, obviously car sales are going quite well in the electric field, but also I'm really liking this IPG then, right? If electric cars are already half the year done and way up on last year for the full year, then I like in this IPG where they're going to have to keep rolling out these electric charging stations.
All right, let's have a look at IPG. Look at that chart.
That's a good looking chart.
Just I know
holding out there, isn't it? Up the top, it's holding out.
Well, this is the sort of story that you could just see keep going.
Yeah, but they've just had a 40% update like 3 weeks ago, right? This is why I'm thinking I don't think it's too late to buy. Maybe there's, you can be cheeky and put a 450 something buy on it, but I think.
When do you think we'll hear something else off them?
Probably in the next 3 weeks because they've got a report, right? So we're gonna probably see the outlook as well. So we pretty much know what's going to happen because they've pre-released the results 3 weeks ago. Well, that's why they had that little bit of a spike. But I'd say, this is one of my, somebody asked me on the ATA, what was my favorite for the next 5 years? And I'm thinking if this electrification of electric cars in Australia being sold is proven correct. I mean, obviously we had the figures, right? Facts and figures. This is what I play on. And it's already 100% up on last year. And we've only had half a year done, then holy moly, I mean, these guys should do quite well, you'd think.
Well, this is really a 3-year growth, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think this is a buy then under the 4.78. We'll have a target length for 3 years.
I can talk you into anything, really, can I?
Yeah, you can, Wolf.
Okay, I need a pay rise, Dave. Let me just give you a quick
rundown. No, listen, Wolfie, the chart is good. We've spoken about this for like last 6 months about
we have.
buying it. Let's be a little bit more. You got sometimes in life, Wolfie, you have to put your cojones on the line.
Yeah, well, I've always put my cojones mostly on the line.
Right, what's your target price? $6, right?
Yeah, well, if you're putting it a long term, yeah, definitely 6, right?
Right.
But the medium target probably is 550.
Right. Okay. Wolf.
That's pretty good. I mean, okay, so by next February, which is the half-year reporting season, 550, which gives you 20%. That's pretty good.
Yeah. What's the Well, this one it just could go on forever and a day, right?
Well, as long as they keep delivering and doing their right acquisitions, which they're very good at, and updating us nicely. I think they need to grow between 30. Probably at least circa 30%. That's what I'm thinking for the market to be happy.
So it's a small cap investment. If people are looking for a long-term small cap, I mean, listen, we talk about it. We've talked about it on Ask the Analysts all the time. So let's just put on officially. We've got to buy under 478. Stop loss at 4 under. We'll go under that 435, right? Got a target price $6.
Yep.
Maybe I'll call it 2 years. And put it on as a 3-year growth. So, I mean, there's lots of people looking for this type of thing, Wolf. Right.
Okay.
On that note, go and practice your bowling, and
They need our new bowlers, maybe batting as well there. Maybe I can just do everything.
when are we going to have a net with your mate McGrath?
I don't know.
I wonder if he could still bowl.
Oh, don't worry, probably bloody smash your head.
Man, I'll hit him for 6. No problem.
Please.
You
He'll
tell
ball his arm over and then bowl
Mate,
you
you-
to the hole.
mate, you tell him, bring it on, no problem. All right. On that note, thanks, Wolfie. And after tonight, 7 o'clock live.
Yes, join us, please.
Ask the analyst. If you don't know what you're doing,
Like me, you always be on the ATA.
right. Thanks, mate. Bye-bye.